Alright, we are live. Hello and welcome back to Talos Principle 2. I just want to see real quick. Oh yeah. Everything all done. Or, I actually don't know if there's an NG Plus stuff you can do. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, Orpheus Ascending. First DLC, let's go. I have no idea how long these are all supposed to take. If a thing loves, it is infinite. William Blake. I'm not seeing the lasers there yet. Or the laser receptacles, rather. Am I gonna play as 1K or somebody else?
Alright, I think that's it. The new body's ready for the transfer. How's the reassembly algorithm?
Done.
Well then, somebody just needs to go in there and disentangle the data. Ah, and here comes our expert.
Guess that's me. I wonder if Miranda's in this if you didn't
agreeing to this one, Kay. Perhaps
save
together
her.
we can right an old wrong. When I was lost in my own grief, I spent a lot of time thinking about Hypatia and Cerebi. How they found each other, how they lost each other, and how beautiful it would be if we could reunite them. For the longest time, it was only a daydream, but not anymore. In the myth of Orpheus, the ancient bard descends into the underworld to bring back his beloved wife, who died in a tragic accident.
Here we go.
With the power of his music, he convinces Hades and Persephone to free her. But he is told that she must walk behind him, and he must not look back at her until they have left the underworld. And so, of course, in every version of the myth, he looks back. Because he doesn't trust the gods, or because he is an imperfect man, or because he simply forgets. And death is triumphant once again. We've accepted that triumph for a long time, because we had to, because what else could we do?
Past game?
But the world changes, and we are not the frightened, powerless creatures we once were.
This is a
Perhaps
DLC.
it's time to say enough.
I'll play
And let
Overwatch
Orpheus
tonight, don't worry.
complete his ascent.
I might take a break from this game after the first DLC. Honestly, part of it is I just didn't really have anything else planned exactly, so I don't know. I'm holding off on the horror games till October, so. Oh, hey,
We'll
look.
have to collect all of Cerebi's data fragments so that we can reconstruct her personality. I'll monitor you from here, just like last time.
Good luck, kiddo.
Wasn't this fun? Welcome to the internal messaging system V.4 used to Cerebi. You have 3 unread messages. Cannot access. Not goodbye. This is like the first game. From Hypatia to Cerebi. Not goodbye. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm writing this. In all likelihood, you can't even read this because of your so little of your consciousness is left, and what's left of your battery is dying. They say it's impossible to recover you, and the backups are all destroyed. I wish we'd backed ourselves up in New Jerusalem before we left, but space was so limited and we had to wait so long. Except, of course, now it's nothing compared to the empty years that stretch before me now. I don't have the words to express what you mean to me. I try to sum it all up, say something elegant and beautiful and perfect, and I can't. Maybe it can't be said. Maybe it only exists as days and years live together. A sequence of moments bound together like a string of lights, defying the darkness of the sky. I don't know. All I know is that this is not goodbye. Maybe the end of you, of us, of who I was. But I'll not say goodbye. Love you forever, Hypatia. Alright, let's go to puzzle 1. Yield. Interesting. Oh, wait, stupid. That's the output. Wait. Welp. Not time to go supersonic. What does that even do? Kind of unclear. What does this do? Oh, I can't use Prometheus terminals on here from the main game. Lame. Dear God, the first puzzle's like, oof, yield. There we go. Boom. Cover one fragment, Orpheus ascending.
The first thing I felt was that I was alone. Not that I was lonely, but that I was separate. Singular.
Interesting.
There was the world,
Narrow.
and there was myself. A contained entity. And this sense of separation, of a distinct self, was delightful. Individuality itself was a source of constant joy and wonder.
Unknown error.
What could be more incredible than to be able to say, I am?
Then people say, I am alive again? I don't know.
The first fragment. Everything's looking good on our end.
If you get stuck, I've inserted some code that might help you bypass a few puzzles.
Hmm.
It's not the most elegant work I've ever done, but it'll do the job.
What's this one called again? Crossing the river. I would think I'm supposed to do the same thing as I just did, right? It blocks two of them, but it can't. Two, three. I don't need all of them to go through, I just need one. There we go. Slap. Palm.
As I grew, I realized that the more I developed this sense of self, the more enjoyable it became simply to exist. It wasn't selflessness that improved existence. but refinement of the self. When the ancients said that ego is something to set aside, they got it all wrong. Ego is something to nourish and shape. A work of art.
The reconstruction's working. Keep going, 1K.
Sequence. I think I'm just seeing a recurring theme here that makes it maybe not as hard as I was expecting it to be. Block off light with more light.
My insights into the value of the self were genuine, I think. But of course, I was completely inexperienced. In fact, in many ways, I was like a human child. So I began to resent everything that intruded on that sense of self. My social obligations to the others, the leadership of Athena and Cornelius, even the obvious limitations imposed on us by our situation. Why did I have to exist in this particular historical moment?
There's a lot worse moments to
saddled
exist
with
in.
the task of reconstructing civilization.
I think of many worse times to be in. Sorry, by just saying. Critical error, all systems compromised, files recoverable. Recover peace.ttp. In Mythical Philosophy of Life / Felix Adler, how user highlighted. It is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. The sense of interconnectedness with them stands out vividly by the way of contrast to the very moment when our mortal connection with them is about to be dissolved. In the intertwining of our life with theirs, living in the life that is in them is but a part of our living in the infinite manifold of the spiritual life. The thought of this, as apprehended, not in terms of knowledge, but immediate experience, begets peace that passeth understanding. And it is upon the bosom of that peace we can pass safely out of the realm into time and space. God.ttp. Oh great, Rolf Waldo Emerson, this guy. Thus we are we put in training for a love which knows not sex, nor person, nor partiality, but which seeks virtue and wisdom everywhere, to the end of increasing virtue and wisdom. We are by nature observers, and thereby learners. That is our permanent state. But we are often made to feel that our affections are but tents of a night. Though slowly and with pain, the objects of the affections change, and the objects of thought do. There are moments when the affections rule and absorb the man, and make his happiness dependent on a person or persons. But in health, the mind is presently seen again. Its overarching vault, bright with galaxies of mutual lights, and the warm loves and fears that swept over us as clouds, must lose their finite character and blend with God to attain their true perfection. Eternity. Theo Erkenwald. In what sense am I a Christian then, if I care so little for dogma? In the sense that in everything I do and think I follow the revelation of Jesus Christ, that the greatest of all things is love. Love is the nature of God, and so equally the nature of which was created in his image. Thus I have learned through revelation that is daily life, through toil and misery and strife, and the infinite power which brings relief and joy. Thus are reject those who believe that the ordinary love of mortal beings is limited and that it ends with death. Rather, it is love that we perceive the immortality of the soul, for it reveals that eternity is conceivable to the human mind when it is filled with love. It is because we know that we can love each other, love another forever, that we know that we are the children of God. Recover pain.ttp. An email. I don't have much time left. I never thought it would end this way. I never thought I would die alone, sitting around in my apartment, wondering if things would have gone differently if we'd gotten that stupid grant. Most though, I just wonder why we're not together. I still don't understand. I don't know why you had so much pain inside you. I don't know why you let it infect everything we had. I don't know why you couldn't see my love for you. Why you twisted everything I said. I was angry and disappointed for so long now, but I just wish I could have found some way to make that pain go away. I would give anything for that. I wish you were here. I wonder if that's meant to be Trevor. Vastness. Oh, there's one. Hmm. Vastness. Is yours? No matter how I angle that, it's not going to actually hit. I need it to. Hit, I don't think. Oh, yeah, it does. I need to do it this way. Because that way, it doesn't matter that's not going to reach it. It's still going to cut it off earlier. Palm.
With that focus on the self, also came an enormous and increasingly overwhelming fear of death. The pleasure of existence seemed almost erased by the possibility of its ending. If it was possible not to be, if the self had an ending, even in the distant future, then how could anything have meaning? I spent far too much time imagining that last moment. The moment just before I stopped existing. How could I possibly face that?
Well, you did face it. Kind of. Alright, let's go back up and around. I'm actually making pretty decent time on these puzzles so far. I want to explore a little bit. Use computer. Everyday sublime. Love must matter to the philosopher because it is at its core the one undisputed presence of the sublime in our lives. Even when it has failed, love, unrequited love, or entirely imagined love, is like a vast monolith towering over us, humbling, uplifting, frightening. Those who deny its presence can be safely disregarded as fools. They know it is there, they are simply afraid. But equally the philosopher must consider that in the great matters of history, love matters not one jot. The Nazarene commanded his followers to love their enemies, but they did not, and wrote 1,000 books of excuses for his failure. Nazarene, huh? Therein is revealed the purpose of the human struggle. Confessions.ttp. To me, the idea that my soul, my essence, could fall in love with another being and then maintain that love and unblemished for eternity seems utterly impossible. My experience of love has been a catastrophe, embarrassment, and disappointment. But this is precisely why I refuse to surrender, why I choose to believe against all precedent that I'll find the one for me, and that our love will last forever. You can laugh at this absurd and contradictory belief, but will not waver. Faith is not a matter of the past, of miracles witnessed and saints observed, but of the future that ought to be written. Pickering manuscript. Seek love in the pity of others' woe, in the gentle relief of others' another care. In the darkness of night and of the winter snow, in the naked and outcast seek love there. I guess if I would have known mythology a little bit more, I would have seen Orpheus ascending and known that this was kind of coming a little bit, but I didn't because I don't know mythology all that well. Silly me. Chain. Okay, so if I can't undo that, means I'm not sure why they'd even bother with that then. That was way too simple. Guess it's the first of its kind, though, maybe? Palm.
Looking back, it's embarrassing how solipsistic I became. I really thought that I could construct my identity without any reference to the outside world. Like I
Now
could
you're telling me
just
you're getting pedantic.
will myself into existence. But it just didn't work. And it made me miserable. Everything
What's
felt
over here?
hollow and meaningless, overshadowed by the idea of
Vault
death.
not found?
There was something I wasn't seeing, something I needed, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Interesting what this is. We'll see if there's other hidden areas like that. Kinda wonder how long this DLC is supposed to take to beat. If I end up beating this one a lot quicker than I beat other bits of this game, that'd be interesting. Equilibrium. Where even are the... Oh, here we go. God damn it. I know not much has happened, but I still... Let me reset. Maybe let me get my bearings. Wait. Does adding more lines do anything? No, it's the original source, but what if? No, that doesn't do it either. What the hell? Also, I can't get the blue over there. It still won't work. It doesn't change it either. Interesting. Alright, now I finally got one that's stumping me a little bit, at least. Well, their ones did a little bit, I guess. What's this say? Out of curiosity. Something has gone wrong. We are fragmented. This is incorrect. Uriel 4. Wasn't that, me in the last DLC? In the Road to Gehenna. So a connector loses a little bit. Oh, okay. There we go. Equilibrium. I don't know why I thought connectors made it gain a little bit. Okay. Or could kind of push in parallel, but no. Interesting.
Everything changed when we started spending more time with each other. Do you remember that night when we found the old library in the Dead City? It was just after the stampede and we were all a bit shaken up. Byron read to us from one of the books, and later you and I started arguing about one of the poems.
Good job,
And
Byron.
your perspective was so different and interesting, and I just kept wanting to hear more.
Hey! It is another one like domino effect. Okay. Are these the dominoes? I mean, nothing for it to really hit. I don't think I'm getting up there any reasonable way. Oh, duh! There's holes in between them. Now it makes it even worse. No, can't be that. Unless... There we go. Calm.
I never really understood the appeal of philosophers who tell us that everything is one.
Agreed.
If everything is just a reflection of yourself, an endless hall of mirrors, there's nothing to connect with.
Exactly.
And what I realized through our conversations is that everything beautiful happens in that space of connection between one person and another, and between people and the world. That gap between us is necessary. Because without it, without separation, there can be no transcendence.
Yep. Concatenation. Donk. Oh yeah, about that. Can I get anything else there? Yes, I kinda can. There we go. Calm.
Once I understood that meaning comes from the interaction of the self with the world, I found it easier to be patient, to be kind.
Good.
I reminded myself that other people are just like me, and nobody really knows exactly what they're doing.
Especially as
The more I
adults.
allowed myself to open up, the more interesting and complex our interactions became, and the more meaningful.
We have roughly 50% of Cerebai's personality matrix reconstructed.
Who'd have thought that 1K would have made such a good necromancer?
Obviously, me. Jeez. Yeah, halfway. Maybe this is a really short DLC. We'll see. There could be a reason there's 3 pieces of DLC as opposed to 1 in the other game. Maybe they're all... It's 3 short DLCs instead of 1 longer one. Interesting. Interesting. So, drop. And drop. Hop. Hop.
It's funny, though, when I think about it, that I still didn't know what to call what I was experiencing. I guess love seemed like a term that only applied to our ancestors, with their hormones and instincts and strange fleshy organs. Surely
Strange fleshy
we were too
organs.
different to experience that. And the really funny thing is that I was thinking exactly like an ancient human child, pretending I was above it all.
Yeah, you can't be in love. Boys have cooties. Or other girls have cooties, even. Nanobis solum.ttp. Cicero correctly observes that we are not born for ourselves alone. Aristotle likewise pointed out that man is a social animal. Plato's Symposium depicts characters praising the spiritual and philosophical importance of love, with Socrates arguing more for the abstract notion of learning to love the form of beauty itself, which honestly seems a little onistic if you ask me. Jesus placed love above all other considerations, demanding that people even love their enemies. If we all agree that love is so important, why is love so rarely taken into consideration? By the system we live in. It may seem like a naive question, but I think about the sheer moral and intellectual weight behind the idea that love matters. Why is our reality so out of step with our philosophy? Atopia. File 2 damage to recover. Truth. You want to know the truth about love? No one knows what they're doing. It's all improv, man. It's 2 million years of people muddling through. Prophets and messiahs and philosophers declare that love is what it's all about, and we go, yeah, that's right, and then we try and fail. Try and we fail. We hurt each other and we try again. We have moments of transcendence, and we think with the wrong organ, and we make a mess of everything. Giggity. Forever and ever. Amen. You know the craziest part? We can go through all that I did. End up with a body like an old rag and a brain full of holes, and still to your dying day go, yeah, it was love. Love for my family, my friends, my music, even my ex-wife. It was all about love, and every time I forgot that I was myself, like a moron. Don't know why I couldn't just curse there. I don't know, it's censored, so I had to censor as well. Beep. Incarnation. Interesting. So I guess now their shtick is, try and block lasers. There we go. There we go, I think. Aha. Or no, that's not it. Aha! There we go. Yeah, this is very different from what you did in the main game. Apparently it is all light puzzles.
What I'd never considered was that stripped of biological necessity and physical need, as well as all the strange stigmas and taboos our
Ooh,
ancestors
green.
associated with their bodies. Love might be more pure, more powerful, that we can love with fewer distractions than they could. And so the experience is all the more overwhelming. I do think we should learn to simulate some of those biological processes. Would be fun.
Oh, duh, then just... Whee! Calm.
When we started living together, I thought I'd figured it all out. Everything would be smooth sailing from now on. I still had so much to learn about love. Even for us, it's messy. You find someone who seems to be the perfect match for you, who seems necessary in your life. And then you realize all the ways in which you don't fit together at all. Because nothing in this world is perfect.
Oh man, I need all 3 of those. There we go. Palm. Wow, this is going fast.
The ancients believed that love could be eternal. But I'll admit that sometimes it seemed impossible to continue. Sometimes I thought you were unfair, or cruel, or just incomprehensible. I'm sure you thought the same about me. And I'm sure that sometimes you were right. No wonder all the ancient love songs repeat the same themes. Longing, happiness, regret, and forgiveness. I want you. I love you.
Oh.
I miss you. Forgive me.
Use computer. Message 504. From Hypatia to Cerebi. Error. I miss you. Not that I need to be around you every minute of the day, but talking about our experiences together has become such an essential part of how I interact with the world that your absence is a huge void. I feel unbalanced, and events seem less real when I haven't discussed them with you. Maybe that sounds clinical and selfish, but I'm trying to explain something I felt incredibly strongly this last month. we're better together in a way that's more like multiplication than addition. It's not just you and me, it's us. When you get back, let's go. Just connect. User highlighted. It did not seem so difficult. She need trouble him with no gift of her own. She would only point out the salvation that was latent in his own soul, and in the soul of every man. Only connect. That was the whole of her sermon. Only connect with the prose and the passion, and both will be long exalted, and human love will be seen at its height. Live in fragments no longer. Only connect, and the beast and the monk, robbed of the isolation that is life to either, will die. Nor was the message difficult to give. It would not take the form of a good talking. By quiet indications, the bridge rebuilt and spanned their lives of beauty. But she failed. Carlyle.ttp. Death of Goethe, Thomas Carlyle. Precious is the new highlight of knowledge which our teacher conquers for us, yet small to the new light of love, which also we derive from him. The most important element of any man's performance is the life he has accomplished. Under the intellectual union of a man and a man, which works by precept, lies a holy union of affection, working by example. The influences of the latter, mystic, deep-reaching, all-embracing, can still less be computed. For love is ever the beginning of knowledge, is fires of light, and works also more in the manner of fire. Well, I'll admit, the fact that you know for a fact that nothing's gonna be like external for these puzzles makes it a little bit easier in some ways. Kind of accept how they're going a little bit. Where's red? Well, there is red, but oh man. Oh. Oh, here we go. I'm not sure if this is actually like more difficult than the other ones, like genuinely. Like these puzzles, more difficult than the ones in the main game. I mean, we kind of already played out how this works, so I feel it's a little weird that they even, like... It feels like this one's a little bit the same concepts on repeat, which is a little strange to me.
The worst thing I came to realize as I grew older is there are so many ways to hurt other people.
Oh yeah.
Even without any malice, even when you're just trying to be yourself, you end up doing things that cause real harm. You can read every ethical philosopher in the world and you still won't be able to avoid it. Because that's just how we are.
People
Our
are
interactions
dicks.
with each other can't be fully reduced to some abstract system.
I don't like how these are laid out. 15 is like the first one you see. But, okay. The only difference... But didn't I basically do a puzzle like this already? I mean, I say that this should be just like, you know, same old, but then this. Actually, I know how to do this. There we go. I don't know how many more puzzles there are after these first 16, if there are any more.
Perfection in our interactions is impossible was a hard lesson for me to learn.
Like, I don't know.
For the longest time, I always thought the answer was right around the corner. And to be fair, we did learn how to live together without constantly running into problems. But gradually, I realized that the friction would never stop. Because what makes us unique also makes us different. There can be no endpoint to love, no final resolution. And it's because of that imperfection that it can go on forever.
Alright, I don't know if this DLC has anything after these. 2 more puzzles, at least anything of note. But that said, I'm going to stop again Overwatch in a few. Thanks for coming by. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Until next time, this is XYZ checking out. Bye.